do. Fabulous. So, as usual, that comfortable starting position can be whatever floats your boat this evening. So wherever you'd like to get your practice started from, whether it's that comfortable seated position or hands and knees or standing, or maybe it's just time for you to lay down on the mat and take a couple moments there, whatever's going to work well for you this evening to get you started with your practice on the right foot. Starting with our scan of the body from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan, just noticing without any judgment how you're feeling, what's going on in your body this evening, where those points of tension or discomfort are, and those spaces you can give that little bit of extra love and attention and leeway this evening as we move into our practice. And also those places that maybe feel particularly good, whether that's good because they're sore from a weekend workout or good because they're feeling refreshed from taking the weekend off, whatever that might have been for you this weekend. As you complete that scan of the body and you take notice of all of those things and maybe some extras, I invite you to take any initial range of motion, any initial stretch, maybe it's multiple ranges of motion that will feel good for you to start your practice on the right foot. So as always, maybe it's one of those ranges of motion that we do together, or spinal twist, lateral stretch, roll of the head and the neck, roll of the shoulders, or a forward fold. Or maybe it's something that I don't include in that regular warm up, but you know feels particularly good and you know gets you ready to move in your practice as you get going. We'll have a little bit of time here, so we've got 6 or 8 nice deep breaths to just find that initial range of motion, maybe try a couple and see what feels good tonight. I'm just taking this time for you to bring yourself to your mat, to bring yourself to that kind of centered state of mind. And as always, any outside thoughts that float in, noticing them, not judging yourself for having them, but then just bringing your attention back to your body and back to your breath and back to how you feel this evening. And just taking 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths wherever you are. As you complete those 3 or 2 nice deep breaths to finish out your range of motion or to come out of your stretch, I invite you to go ahead and make your way over to your comfortable seated position. When you get there, we're just going to go right into that roll of the head and the neck. So take your time finishing out wherever you're at. But then when you make your way to that comfortable seat, I want you to find that next inhale for that super long spine. That exhale drops the chin to the chest. And then we just have that nice easy side to side. So right ear towards the right shoulder, you can reach that left hand down for a little deeper of a stretch. And then exhale drops us through center, chin to chest, and then left ear to left shoulder. And as you make your way into that, just a couple times at your own pace, side to side, find that nice stretch. Maybe you need a little bit more of a range of motion, a couple extra moments on one side or the other, and that's fine. Taking your time there. I was excited because when I hit start on class tonight, the sun was still just barely peeking over the horizon. The days are getting longer, and I could not be more excited about that. And let's go ahead and take one more nice deep breath, finishing out maybe 2 breaths if you need to even out and hit that second side. When you finish that second side, that final time, that next exhale drops the chin back to the chest. And then that inhale lifts the head back up nice and long. When you get there and take your time, let's take it into some nice easy shoulder circles up towards the ears and then either down to the front or down into the back, choosing the direction that feels better for you this evening. Finding that nice easy range of motion. Ooh, that one always feels good for me. I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders. Go ahead and take one more circle and then switch it up. Same thing, other direction. And maybe your circles are a little slower or faster than mine. As always, that's fine. And take 2 more circles in that second direction and then go ahead and release and relax those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Give them that moment to just relax down and give yourself a second, and then we're going to go into our lateral stretches as usual next. That next inhale after you relax those shoulders down, brings those arms out and up. When you get to the top, I want you to take a moment and just pause with that nice big stretch up long away from center. Maybe you look up towards those fingers. Maybe you find that little small back bend while you're seated here. And then that next exhale, let's go ahead and take that right hand, bring it down towards the mat, really reaching up with that left hand, planting that left hip into the mat and finding that nice big stretch with that big reach. That next inhale pulls you up through center. And then exhale in that second direction. Same thing when you hit that second side, that palm meets, and then we really reach up and away with that right hand, that nice big stretch along the side of the body. We're just going to go one more time in each direction because we're moving a little slower here. Inhale pulls us up through center. Exhale in that first direction. Once again, find that nice big reach. And then that second direction. And after we find that second side, that second time, we're going to go right into our spinal twist. So your next inhale brings you up nice and long to center. That exhale brings one arm down to the front, other arm down to the back, opening up those shoulders towards that side wall. And then we're going to find that side to side just a couple times at your own pace. So moving with those inhales up through center and exhale side to side, finding as much tension as you need for that spinal twist, or maybe a little less tension, move a little faster or slower. As always, wherever you need to be for your practice this evening. And also, as always, arms can come low or high through center, whichever feels better for you. So if the shoulders are bothering you a little bit, maybe the arms stay low. Or if that doesn't feel quite so good, quite so natural, that's always fine. Let's go ahead and just find one more time in each direction. And as always, feel free to find that third change of direction just to even out and finish that up. And then finishing up with that final inhale to bring us back to center. And exhale either to relax those arms down and around or relax those shoulders down nice and low away from the ears. A little lower body stretch before we change in position. So I'm going to start with that right leg folded in, that left leg out nice and long. We're going to find one fold to the left, one fold to the right, and then two down the center. So find your nice big inhale. If you'd like, those arms can come up overhead. If not, you can keep them low. Exhale is going to fold us forward, fingertips down towards the shin, the ankle, the toes. And taking a moment, as always, to just choose the version of this stretch that feels good. So maybe you round into it. Maybe you keep the spine a little flatter. Maybe you have some assistance around the bottom of that foot. And let's take one more nice deep breath here. Your next inhale rolls you up. We're going to switch those legs. So same thing in that second direction. That next inhale, you can either just find that long spine or take those arms out and up. And then that exhale rolls you down in that second direction. Again, just kind of choose the form of that stretch that you'd like. Today my back's feeling a little bit tight, a little bit sore from one of my workouts this weekend. So I'm getting a little bit more rounded than normal. And that next inhale brings us back up. All right, and then we've got our 2 times down the center, and for each time down the center, we're just gonna find one nice deep breath when you hit the bottom, and you can choose that positioning for those legs. If that single-sided felt good, maybe you do one on one and one on the other. If that butterfly is something that feels good, that's fabulous. If out long or out in that straddle feels good, wherever you need to be, just a couple nice deep breaths here. So inhale to that long spine. Exhale brings us into that fold. When you get to the bottom of that fold, one nice deep breath. That following inhale rolls us up. You can keep that same foot positioning or you can change it up depending on what feels good for you this evening. Big inhale to your long spine. Big exhale brings us into that fold. And then when you hit the bottom, that one more nice deep breath there. Fabulous. Inhale rolls us back up. Okay. So we're going to make just a little bit of a transition from that seated up to standing. Now is a fabulous opportunity for you to grab a sip if you'd like. For my transition, I'm going to come over to hands and knees, do one cat and cow. From there, find my down dog and walk it to the top of my mat. So take your time. We've got a couple of breaths to make that transition. If you like that cat and cow, maybe you find that with me. If not, feel free to maybe find a sip or another range of motion, and then bring it on up to standing to meet me. As always, if you're making that transition through that down dog, be gentle on yourself. Have that gentle bend in those knees. Be careful with that head being below the heart for the first time, our first inversion. When you're ready, walking it forward and then standing it up. Whew. Alrighty. Okay, so again, if you need that one more sip before we get moving, that's fabulous. If not, we're getting ready in our mountain pose right at the top of our mat. We are going to go into our chair from this mountain pose, so I encourage you to find the foot positioning that feels good for your chair. I know I like my feet a little closer in my chair than my traditional mountain, so that's where I'm going to be. If you're a little bit different, that's fine. We're going to find one nice deep breath to take those arms out and up, and then that exhale is going to sink us back into our chair pose. So inhale takes us up. Pause at the top for just a moment before you find that exhale. Find that nice big stretch, and then that exhale is going to sink us back into our chair. Hips go back. Those arms can be long or come down to heart center, depending on how your shoulders feel. Very nice, very nice. All right, short one here. Your next exhale brings you into your forward fold. Lengthen those legs, bring those fingertips down towards the toes. And then with your next inhale, we're rolling back up all the way to that extended mountain. So nice and controlled, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring it up, bring those arms up overhead. And then exhale sinks us back into it, once again, into that chair. So bend those knees, send those hips back, just getting that lower body a little warmed up. Big inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and bring it back into that fold. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale rolls us all the way up. We're going to be a little bit longer in that chair once we hit it. So when you come to the top with that inhale, nice long arms, nice long spine. Exhale sends those hips back. When you get there, we're going to take one nice deep breath just in our regular chair. Big inhale and exhale. And then I want you to bring those palms together, hands to heart center and elbows wide. We're going to add a little bit of a spinal twist. I'm going to take that right elbow and send it towards that left knee. So a little spinal twist. If you can't quite reach, just finding that core work. If you can reach, maybe you rest that elbow on that knee for that spinal twist. One big inhale and exhale. Come back to the center for a breath. Big inhale and exhale. Keep those legs bent. You got this. And then other side for a nice deep breath. So left elbow towards that right knee. When you get there, big inhale and exhale. We have one more breath in our chair, and that's right back at center. When you finish that one, take it back into that fold. Give those legs a break. Lengthen them. Find that nice stretch. Whew. Maybe shake them out a little bit while you're there. Very nice, very nice. Alrighty, we're gonna get that core active with a little bit of plank work. I want you to go ahead and bend those knees, plant those hands, and step those feet back nice and long into our high push-up plank position. We'll just be here for a moment, just because this is our first one, our warm-up one. Give me two nice deep breaths. Give me one breath in your down dog. Press those hips up and back. Nice little stretch for the backs of those legs. All right, shift it back out to that plank for me. Shoulders over wrists. One nice deep breath when you get there before we make any moves. Now I want you to stabilize and just lift those right toes right up off the ground there for me. Little glute extension, one breath. Set those right toes down, one breath with the left up. Lift those left toes. Big inhale and exhale. Set those left toes down, downward facing dog. You guys are doing awesome, awesome, awesome on this warm-up round. Knees down wide, hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Give those shoulders, give those wrists a break. Whew, maybe a little circle, maybe just that nice stretch. Very nice, very nice. All righty, excellent. I want you to bring it up to hands and knees from here. So bringing it up, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Give me one cat and one cow. Inhale, belly towards the floor, hips lift. Exhale, spine rounds towards the ceiling. Bring it back to your neutral. And then we're going to find our low lunge from this position. So I'm just going to walk my hands a little bit to the left, give my right leg a little space, and then circle it around. Feel free to make any small adjustments to make that movement if you need to. And then find your nice low lunge position. You can press those hips forward if that feels good, or keep it right where they are. All right, fabulous. From here, just kind of ease out of it just slightly. So just bring those hips back if you press them forward. Bring those arms up overhead, nice long torso. We're taking it up to our crescent from here. So if you do need, use that leg for a little support. If not, curl that left toe under, lift that knee, bring it right up into our crescent lunge. Very nice, very nice. Making that transition and then finding your balance, finding that core strength. Big inhale and exhale. Let's take it out to our warrior two. Turn that left heel down, open those arms. And this becomes our extended side angle. Bend that right elbow, bring it down to that right knee, and that left arm up over top. So nice big side body stretch for that left side. A little bit of support there with that right elbow. Very nice. We're going to take it back up to our warrior two. Lifting it up, use that core. Sweep that left arm down and lift that left heel, bring it back to our crescent. And we're going to make the reverse of that transition that we just did. So again, if you need that support to come down to the floor, use your leg or use something to hold on to. But if you can, keep those arms up. Just go ahead and bend both of those knees. Gently set that left knee back down. Top of that foot meets. Bring those fingertips down. Bring that right leg around. So we're back to that hands and knees. Let's hit that same thing on the other side. Left leg comes forward. Circle it around. Find that low lunge to get started here. So nice deep lunge, nice stretch for that hip flexor. Whew. I did a quad heavy workout this weekend. So like I said, my lower back's a little sore, but my quads are especially sore. This feels good. All right, I want you to go ahead and ease just gently off of it a little bit. And then again, we're going to make that transition up to our crescent. So if you can, tall torso, arms overhead. If you need that extra support, use that support. Curl the right toe under, stand it up. Crescent lunge. And then let's take it to our warrior two. Turn that right heel down, open those arms. Extended side angle, bends that left elbow, brings it down towards that left knee, right arm up over top. Nice big stretch. Whew. Bring that back up to center, warrior two. Sweep that right arm forward, lift that right heel, bring it back to our crescent. And then gently again, we're going to set it down. We're going to reverse of that transition that we did up. Knee comes down. Send those hands down. Bring that left leg around to meet the right. We're back at hands and knees. Give me one more cat and cow. Inhale, belly towards the floor, lift the hips. Exhale, rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, tucks the chin in towards the chest. And then go ahead and bring it back to our neutral. We've got another plank coming at us. A little bit more of that core work. I want you to send those feet back nice and long. Curl those toes under. Find that nice high push-up plank position. All right, we're going to find one more time with those toes lifted. Lift those right toes up off that mat. One big inhale and exhale while you're there. Set those down, lift the left. Big inhale and exhale. Set those down, find your downward facing dog. Press those hips up and back, find that shoulder stretch. And then we're going to make our move to our forward fold. So bend those knees, step or hop those feet forward to meet those hands in our forward fold. Very nice. Next inhale rolls us all the way up to our extended mountain. And exhale brings those arms down and around. Whew. Fabulous. All right, shake it out if you need to. My shoulders are feeling that already. All right, so a little slower than maybe our normal practices. We're keeping it a little bit more intentional, but we've got those good strength movements, those planks, those chairs. We're going to add in a little half moon after this next round. So let's start with our big inhale and exhale, and then we're going to make it our way into our chair. So inhale takes us up. Exhale sinks us into our chair. Send those hips back nice and long. Bend those knees. Very nice. All right, we're going to take this transition down by just one, but we are going to still go through our fold and back into our chair once. So with your next exhale, whenever it comes, I want you to go ahead and find that fold. Bring those fingertips down towards the toes. Your inhale is going to take you all the way up to that extended mountain. And then your exhale is going to bring you back into that chair one more time. All right, we're still going to hit those spinal twists on this one. So we're in our chair. Give me one more nice deep breath here. Pull those palms together. Bring the hands down to heart center. Send that right elbow towards that left knee, spinal twist. This time we're going to find 2 nice deep breaths in this one. Big inhales and exhales. When you finish that, make your way to center for 1 nice deep breath at center. 1 nice deep breath at center. And then 2 breaths on that second side. That left elbow towards that right knee. 2 breaths on that second side. We got that final breath at center. 1 more time with those knees bent. 1 more time in that chair. And then I want you to find that fold, lengthen those legs. Give those quads a little break. Bring it back into your fold, very nice. All right, we're changing the focus up a little bit. We're gonna bring it back down to that plank. I want you to bend those knees, plant those hands, step those feet back nice and long. Back into that plank, back into that plank. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's find that toe lift. Lift those right toes just right up off that mat for 1 nice deep breath. Bring them down and switch. Left toes lift for 1 nice deep breath. Bring them down and switch 1 more time on each leg. Right toes lift. And switch it. Last time. Nice deep breath with those left toes up. Plant those left toes. Downward facing dog. Press the hips up and back. Very nice. That's a tough one. A little balance, a little core. Send those knees down wide. Hips back towards the heels. Child's pose. We've got 2 nice deep breaths in your child's pose. So if you'd like, for each breath, you can walk those hands side to side. If not, you can stay right down center. Very nice. Let's come up for our cat and cow. So bring it to hands and knees. We've got that 1 nice deep breath in our cat and cow. So inhales and exhales. When you finish that, bring that spine back to that nice neutral. We're going to change that up and do 1 bird dog on each side for that inhale and exhale. I want you to lift that right arm and that left leg. Inhale takes us long. Exhale brings the elbow and knee together. Inhale sets those down. Exhale, neutral spine. 1 more time on that other side. Left arm and right leg. Inhale lifts, extends. Exhale pulls us into center. Inhale sets them down. And exhale, neutral spine. Very nice. We're taking it to that right side lunge. So right leg circles around. Bring it forward. Low lunge. Next inhale, long spine. We're taking it up to that crescent. Use support if you need to. Curl the left toes under. Straight up into our crescent. Find that balance. Find that core. Find that right quad work. Warrior 2. Left heel turns down, arms open. Extended side angle. Bends that right elbow. Brings it down towards the knee. Left arm comes up. All right, so we are going to make our way just 1 time for 1 nice deep breath into our half moon from here. When I set up my half moon from this positioning, I like to send my right fingertips about 6 inches outside of my toes. I'm going to lift my left foot and try and stack my hips on top of my right hand. So we're lifting up, and I like to send my fingertips almost all the way down to the floor. So I'm not quite at my neutral spine. I do come down a little bit so that I can use them for balance. If you have something else you want to grab onto instead, that's fine. If not, maybe you have that balance, or maybe you send those feet down and you just work on that little lift and lower. 1 breath here. I know that was a little more than 1 breath if you already set up, but that's okay. And then sending that left foot back down, bending that right knee, bringing it right back up to our warrior 2. Very nice. Circle that left arm forward, left heel lift back to our crescent. And we're going to send it right down to the mat. Reverse that transition. So bend those knees. Left knee comes down. Top of that left foot meets. Bring those hands down. Circle that right leg around to meet. And then we're taking it to that other side. So left leg circles around to meet. Low lunge. Take that nice deep breath. Let's bring it up into our crescent. So inhale to that long torso, long arms. Curl that right toe under and we'll lift it up. Maybe those transitions feel different based on the side. That's okay. Balance can be a little different on both sides. Let's take it to our warrior two. Turn that right heel down, open those arms. Extended side angle, bends that left elbow. Right arm comes up and over, left elbow goes towards that knee. All right, and here's that transition again towards that half moon. If you're someone who has it kind of down pat, you can go right into it. Find that nice deep breath. If not, same concept. I'm gonna reach those fingertips down. I'm gonna work on just stacking that foot over top. Maybe you get a little closer towards that parallel. Maybe you don't quite have that bounce today like me, and that's okay. One nice deep breath when you get into it. And then whenever you're ready, after you feel okay to come down, go ahead and send that right foot down, bring it back to that warrior two. Whew. Very nice. Let's circle that right arm forward, right heel lifts. And we're reversing that transition right back down to the mat. So then both of those knees, that right knee meets, that top of that right foot meets. We send those hands down. We bring that left knee around to meet the right, back at that hands and knees. All right, let's find those bird dogs. We're gonna add an extra extension this time. So our inhale, long, exhale in, inhale long, and then we'll set down. So right arm and left leg, inhale extends. Exhale in towards center, elbow to knee. One more extend on this one, inhale extends. And exhale sets down and gets ready to switch. So right arm and left knee go down, left arm and right leg, inhale extends. Exhale brings us towards center. Inhale extends. And exhale sets us down. Very nice. All right, we got one more set of those planks for this time through. So I want you to go ahead and send those feet back nice and long into that plank position, high push-up plank position. Excellent, excellent. All right, here we go into those lifts. Right toes lift. Squeeze that glute as you lift, whether you get that distance or not. Set them down and switch. Left toes lift. One more time on each side. Set them down. Lift it up, right toes. Set them down and switch. Second side. One more time here, one more time here. Set them down. Downward facing dog. Whew. Excellent work. Bend those knees, step, walk, or hop those feet forward to meet those hands. Forward fold. Forward fold. Whew, very nice, very nice. All right, our next inhale is going to roll us all the way up to that extended mountain. And exhale is just going to relax those arms down. All right, fabulous. Feel free to shake it out. Feel free to grab a sip. I am certainly going to do that. Any stretch that you need, maybe a roll of the wrists because those planks are lengthy. Maybe a stretch of the quads because those chairs are lengthy. How we doing? Feeling all right? Good, 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 good. Fabulous, fabulous, excellent. All right. In our first 40 minutes together, we're going to go through one more time. We're going to take about that same pace, depending on how long it actually takes us. We might have a little bit of a stretch at the end, or we might not. But like I said, we're going to do this one more time in our second meeting, and then end with the Shavasana. So if you are so inclined to stick around, if you have the time, happy to have you here. But as always, first 40 is fabulous. That's all we've got time for. Let's start from the top of our mat with our inhale. Our exhale will bring us into our chair. We're going to go right into those spinal twist versions with this time. So we're skipping that first one that we did last time. So your next big inhale takes those arms out and up. Your exhale sends you down into that chair. Send those hips back nice and long. Bend those knees, that nice long spine. Get that core nice and active. Let's take 2 breaths here right down center. Bring those palms together. Hands down to heart center. Let's send it to that first side. I'm going to send my right elbow towards my left knee. We've got those 2 breaths down this first side. After those 2 breaths, bring it back to center for one nice deep breath. And then we're switching sides for those 2 on that other side. After those 2, we've got 2 final right down the center. So bringing it back to center, whether you like those palms together or maybe you want to take them long again. 2 more breaths right down center. A little bit more work for those quads. You got this. And then go ahead and bring it into that fold. Whew. Lengthen those legs, fingertips towards the toes. Nice little stretch. Maybe shake it out a little bit. All right, that feels good. That feels good. Very nice work, you guys. A lot of chair. You guys killed it. Doing great. Doing great. All right, let's get a little bit more of that plank work in for us this evening. Go ahead and bend those knees. Plant those hands. Send those feet back nice and long into that high push-up plank position. All right, very nice. Here we go with those toe lifts. Right toes lift. Find that nice deep breath. Switch it up. Left toes lift, nice deep breath. All right, option to make this super challenging if you'd like. When those right toes lift this time, if you want, maybe see if you can reach those left fingertips forward, just like that bird dog. Lots of balance. Nice deep breath. Set it down. Last time, other side. You can just find that toe lift. If you want that super extra challenge, can you lift those right fingertips up? And go ahead and set those both down. Downward facing dog, downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Whew, nicely done. And let's take it down to our child's pose. Once again, we've got those 2 nice deep breaths when you get down there. So if you'd like, maybe walk those hands to the right for 1 breath and to the left for the other. All righty, excellent. We're gonna come up for our cat and cow. Go ahead and bring it up to hands and knees. When you get there, we've got 1 nice cat and cow, so 1 nice deep breath just in that basic spinal range of motion. And then we're gonna find our bird dogs again. So same thing as that second one, we've got those 3 ranges of motion. Our inhale's gonna extend us nice and long. Our exhale's gonna pull us in towards center. And our inhale's gonna send us long 1 more time. And then we set down and switch. So left arm and right leg, inhale extends. Exhale pulls us in. Inhale extends. Exhale sets us down. Very nice. All right, let's take it to that low lunge. Right leg steps forward. Find that nice low lunge. Find that stretch. Give yourself that space to make that step. A little different than our transition from our down dog. All righty, let's take it to our crescent. So you can find that long torso. Maybe those arms up overhead. Curl those left toes under and lift it up. To warrior 2. Heel turns down, arms up. To extended side angle. Elbow towards that knee, arm up over top. And let's take it out to our half moon once again. If you'd like, you can stay right here if that half moon is really not working for you today. If you can, bringing it towards that half moon. Any step that gets you close to it, you don't need to be parallel. I'm certainly not parallel. My fingertips are touching the ground. 1 more nice deep breath here. And bend that right knee, set that foot down, bring it back up into that warrior 2. Crescent circles our left arm forward, left heel lifts. We're sending it right back down. So bend those knees, that knee meets, we fold it down, we're switching legs. So right leg comes back, left leg comes forward. Low lunge. Lengthen that torso. Here's that transition, straight up into that crescent. Turn those toes under, bring it on up. Warrior 2. Extended side angle. into your half moon or your half moon option, or maybe you stay right here, and that is fabulous. Wherever you are this evening. And this side is maybe different than I know this side is different than my other side. One nice deep breath here. And then when you're ready, bend that left knee, send that right foot down, bring it back up into that warrior two. Whew, we're almost done. Right arm swings forward, right heel lifts. Let's bring it down. Top of that right foot meets, send those hands down. Left knee comes around to meet the right. In our hands and knees. Let's find one nice cat and cow here. We're going to skip those bird dogs in the interest of time. We want to hit one more plank in this first 40 minutes. So we've got our cat, we've got our cow. We're bringing that spine back to our nice neutral. Last time in our plank, this is it. We are finishing up this first 40. Let's step it back nice and long into that high push-up plank position. Same concept as before. Let's lift those right toes for our nice deep breath. Set them down and switch. Left toes lift for that nice deep breath. One more time on each side. If you'd like to add that hand lift, if you're feeling balanced, you can. Just make sure it's that opposite, obviously. And then set them down and switch. Set them down, downward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bend those knees, step, walk, or hop those feet forward to meet those hands. Forward. Whew, shake it out a little bit. Give those shoulders a second. Give those legs a second. Our next inhale rolls us all the way up to that extended mountain. And that exhale circles those arms down and around. One nice deep breath just to finish off this first 40 minutes. Inhale takes us up. Palms meet right up overhead. Exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are not sticking around, I hope to see you next time. And I hope you'll have a great rest of your Monday, a great rest of your week. If you are sticking around, same link, same information. Either way, the light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste. Okay, so go ahead and make your way to standing at the top of your mat. Whew. We're gonna start this one with 2 nice deep breaths, and then we will go right into that chair sequence. So when you get to that nice easy mountain pose, that first nice deep breath is just gonna bring us up and back down. So that inhale takes us up to that nice long spine, nice long arms, maybe a little stretch, maybe a little mini back bend. Oh, my back just cracked. I hope you could not hear that. Exhale brings those arms down and around. This second one, our exhale is gonna bring us into that chair. Inhale takes us up. Nice big stretch, long away from center. Exhale sinks us down. Bend those knees, send those hips back nice and long into that chair pose. Find that nice stretch. This is, if you were here for that ankle mobility section the other day, this is something that certainly helps with a little bit. Nice. All right, find one more nice deep breath in this center chair pose. Bring those palms together, bring those hands down to heart center. Let's take it to that first side. Right elbow towards that left knee. We've got those 2 nice deep breaths when you get there. We've got our single breath at center, so bring it back to center after those 2. And then our 2 breaths on our second side. This is our last chair of the day. You guys got this. Keep those knees bent. Bring it to that second side, that spinal twist. Back to center. We've got just 2 more breaths back at center. You can have those hands at center, or you can take those arms up long if you prefer that. Big inhale and exhale. Last one, big inhale and exhale. And bring it into that fold. Fingertips towards the toes. Lengthen those legs. Find that stretch. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Woo-hoo. That feels good. All righty. Let's keep it moving. Let's take it into our plank position. Bend those knees. Plant those hands. Send those feet back nice and long into that plank. When you get there, give me that one nice deep breath right at our centered plank. And let's find that toe lift. Bring those right toes up. One nice deep breath. Switch them up. Left toes lift for that nice deep breath. One more time on each side with the option for that opposite arm lift if you're feeling it. I do not have that in me this time, but that's okay. If you've got it, you've got it. Switch it up. Same thing, second side, final time here, final time here. Left toes lift. If you got that right arm, that's great. Send those left toes down, send those hips up and back, down dog. Whew, give those shoulders a break. Nice stretch. Knees down wide, hips towards the heels, child's pose. Nice little stretch. We've got our 2 nice deep breaths. If you would like to do 1 breath on each side, feel free to walk those hands over to that first side. And the second. And then we're going to bring it up for our cat and cow. So up to that hands and knees position. We've got our single cat and cow from hands and knees. So nice deep breath. Find that spinal range of motion. When you finish that one, bring that spine back to that nice neutral. We've got our same three direction bird dog. So right arm and left leg. Inhale, extends. Exhale, pull this in. Inhale, extends. And our exhale is going to set us down. Switching sides, left arm and right leg. Inhale, extends. Exhale brings us into center. Inhale, extends. And exhale sets us down. Very nice. All right, let's bring it for that low lunge. Right leg steps around and forward into that nice low lunge. Let's make our way into our crescent. So nice long torso. Maybe those arms come up if you're not using them for support. Curl that left toe under and let's send it straight up. Into that crescent lunge. Find your balance. Excellent. Let's take it to warrior 2. Turn the heel down, open the arms. We've got that nice bend in that right knee still. We're nice and long from fingertip to fingertip. And then let's take it to our extended side angle. Bend that right elbow, bring it down towards the knee. Left arm comes up over top. Once again, you can stay right here if you'd like. If you want that extra challenge while you're here, we're lifting that elbow off of the knee and sending it forward. If not, we're taking it to our half moon. So taking our weight onto that right leg, that balanced leg. Left fingertips go up, right fingertips go down, trying to keep those hips open and not closing them down like our warrior 3. One nice deep breath there. And then we're going to bend that right knee, send that left foot down, bring it back to our warrior 2, warrior 2. Let's bring it forward for our crescent lunge. Left arm circles forward, left heel lifts. And let's bring it straight back down to our low lunge. We're going to switch sides. So go ahead and bring those hands down for that little bit of support. Right leg circles back around. Knock my hands over to the right and circling my left leg around for that low lunge. That nice stretch for that hip flexor, for that quad. Fabulous. Let's take it up to our crescent lunge. So bringing it up to that tall torso. Curl that right toe under. Let's lift it up. Find your balance, find your core when you get there. Very nice, warrior 2. Turn that heel down, open those arms. Extended side angle brings that elbow towards that knee, that opposite arm up over top. And again, you can stay here if you want that extra challenge. We're sending that left hand out, or you can bring it up to that half moon for that balance. Taking that step, bringing those fingertips forward, trying to open that hip. Whew. This is a tough balance for sure. If you're not having a lot of luck with it, don't get discouraged. This one takes a lot of practice. Next exhale, sends that right foot back down. That left knee bends. Bring it back to that warrior 2. And crescent circles that right arm forward and brings us into that crescent lunge. And then let's send it straight down. Bend those knees. Bring that right knee down. Bring it down. Circle that left knee around to meet the right at our hands and knees. Give me that 1 cat and 1 cow here. Bring that spine back to our neutral. We are going to do our bird dogs on this one. So finding that 3 directions. Your next inhale, right arm and left leg extend. Exhale brings us in towards center. Inhale extends. Exhale sets us down. And we switch with that next one. Inhale extends. Left arm and right knee. Exhale in towards center. Inhale extends. And exhale sets it down. Alrighty, very nice. Final of those plank sequences. So when you're ready, go ahead and step those feet back nice and long into our last high push-up plank of the practice. We are so close, you guys. We are so close. All right, let's start those lifts. Take those right toes up off that mat. Find that balance, find that core. One nice deep breath. Switch it when you're ready, when you're done with that breath. Set those toes down, lift the left, big deep breath there. Same thing, one final time, those right toes lift. And then those left. And then we find our downward facing dog. Press those hips up and back, find that nice stretch. Whew. Very nice, very nice. All right, from here, let's take it down to our child's pose. Take those knees down wide, those hips back towards the heels. Find that nice stretch. Give that chest a little stretch, give those shoulders a little stretch. All right, option here for you. If you would like to stay in your child's pose, please feel free. If you know that puppy pose feels a little bit better, I know it feels a little bit more of a stretch for my chest, you can make your way into your puppy pose. That just means those knees come underneath those hips and we're still pressing down. So that kind of modified version. If that does not feel better, like I said, stay in that child's pose. Either is fabulous. Alrighty, let's take it forward for a Cobra. Plant those hands, bring those knees under those hips, press those hips down towards the mat. You can find that Sphinx as well. If this Cobra is a little intense for you, those elbows can come down. We're still peeling that chest up off the mat. Again, same option. One or the other feels better. You can find that one. Excellent. Let's make our way back into that downward facing dog. So go ahead and plant those hands, curl those toes under, press those hips up and back. We had a lot of quad work today, so we're going to finish off with our, what's the word I'm looking for? Half pigeon, right leg, three-legged dog. Send that right shin down to the mat underneath those hips in that half pigeon. Send those hips down. And to add to those quads, I'm just going to go ahead and point those left toes up. As always, if that doesn't feel good, you can keep them down on that mat. But if it feels okay and you can reach, you can take that left arm around and reach for the top of that foot and really intensify that left quad stretch, that left hip flexor stretch. So we did all that chair work today. All right, if you found that nice quad stretch, go ahead and release it down. You have two options for your transition between your half pigeons. You can take it through your downward facing dog by curling that left toe under, send the hips up, right foot up and back. Or if you want to stay low, if you want to avoid that down dog, you can send that hip down and circle the legs around in the front. Whichever works better for you today is fabulous, but either way, that left shin is going to end up underneath those hips. That right leg is going to go back nice and long. And we're going to come back into that half pigeon on that second side. When you complete that transition, whichever one you chose, same option. If you'd like that extra little bit of a quad stretch, point those right toes up. You can circle that right hand around to meet the top of that foot. Find that extra stretch. And if you found that, gently go ahead and release it. We're going to send that left hip down to the mat and circle that right leg around. All right, I've got just a few final easy stretches on our back, and then we're going to make our way into our Shavasana. So first, I just want you to make your way onto your back and pull those knees in towards the chest. And all of these are completely optional. If there's a stretch that you really don't like, we are going to go into Happy Baby for a second. If you don't like that one, that's totally fine. But we have those knees pulled into that chest. Maybe roll in small circles for that lower back or side to side. I'm going to do half of my happy baby to get a little bit stretched for it, and then that full happy baby, and then make our way into that Shavasana. So I'm going to keep my left leg where it is. I've got my left hand underneath my knee for a little support. I'm going to bring my right hand just to underneath the inside of that foot and just pull my right knee towards my right armpit. So I've got that kind of stretch for the groin, for the hip. I can feel it all the way through my leg here for the hamstring. Then I'm going to release that and just switch to the other side. So I'm going to bring that hand underneath that knee. The inside of, my left hand meets the inside of my left foot. I'm just pulling that knee down towards the armpit. All right, and then if you'd like, you can take it to that full happy baby by just combining the two, taking both sides. Maybe add that little bit of a rock side to side if that feels good on your lower back. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and gently release that. Plant my feet, bend my knees. I'm just going to take a nice big stretch out long. We did not need to bend the knees and plant the feet, but that was the transition that came in my brain. Nice big stretch, long away from center, arms up overhead, toes down towards that opposite wall. And then just go ahead and release all that tension with your next exhale. Whew, just kind of let the body relax down into the mat, let gravity pull it down. All right, and then we're going to make our way into our little bit of final relaxation. We've got just a few more minutes this time, backwards from what I normally do. So if you like to be in your corpse pose, just kind of laying down on the mat for your final relaxation, that's fabulous. If you like to take maybe legs up the wall or bend the knees, plant the feet and bring the knees together, or if being on your back is just straight up uncomfortable, you can move it around, make it your own, bring it to somewhere that is comfortable, that you can truly find that final relaxation. Because I know sometimes I find that corpse pose isn't truly relaxing. As you make your way into your positioning, I want you to take that scan of the body, just like what we started with, noticing how you're feeling now, noticing what's different. If something maybe is bothering you a little more or a little less, something feels a little better, a little worse. We're just noticing, again, without any judgment, as always. As you take that scan and you notice those points of tension, if you can find just that little bit of extra relaxation, that little bit of extra release, kind of sinking down into the floor or down into your pose. And then I want you to take notice of your breath. Allow space for your inhales. So give yourself that expansion of the lungs, of the chest, of the belly as you inhale. And really try to get rid of as much air as you can on that big exhale. I'm going to take 2 more nice deep breaths just like that. Really allow that space. Maybe a little bit of that audible exhale. One more time, big inhale. And I want you to see if you can find a little extra relaxation, a little bit further with gravity with that big exhale. Just taking a couple of moments to just kind of be without focusing on anything in particular in your body. If thoughts float in, give them a moment, give them your notice, and then let them float back away. I want you to take one more nice deep breath wherever you are. Big inhale and exhale. And then with your following inhale, I want you to come a little bit long away from center. So maybe you stretch the arms up overhead. Maybe just think about lengthening the spine. Maybe you have to lengthen those legs. Maybe you're in a little bit different of a position, so it looks different, and that's okay. With your exhale, I want you to come in towards your center. So maybe it's that those knees pull in towards the chest. Maybe the arms come back down towards center, or maybe you're in some kind of a different fold just because of your positioning. And then wherever you are, I want you to make your way back towards comfortable seated. So maybe that means rolling towards your favorite side and pressing up. Maybe you like a little bit different of a transition from where you are back to comfortable seated, but go ahead and make your way there. And we're going to finish with 2 nice deep breaths, leading with those arms from that comfortable seated position. So that inhale is going to take us out and up. Nice big stretch along the way from center. And exhale brings us down. On the second and final one, those palms are going to meet up overhead. So that inhale takes us up. Palms meet. And exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. All right, you guys. Thanks, as always, for joining me this Monday evening. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly felt good for me. I hope you have a nice rest of your evening and a great rest of your week. And I hope to see you next time. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste.